Hey boys, welcome back to some more Nrl Supercoach 2022, and I'm gonna be going through my sort of updated Supercoach team as it stands right now. Now I hopped on it pretty much just now to make a couple of changes, but I haven't gone through and fine tuned everything because I'm still up in the air. And the one game, it is disappointing that the Titans Warriors game was cancelled, because there's one player I was very keen to see the minutes and whatnot. You can probably see him in my second row as it stands, but we'll go through the team. I'll go through sort of reasoning and what not. But yeah, there's definitely going to be changes before round one, when we find out actual team lists and who's going to get those positions, and also who I'm feeling. But let's delve in. So at the hookers, we've gone Damian Cook and Chris Randall. Chris Randall, he's a lock-in, basically. There is a sneaker, Corey Pakes actually is a bit of a sneaky cheapie on the radar, because he's shown, honestly, in form, he's looked better than Turpin has in the games he has played. So, if Corey Pakes can jag the starting spot, then, I mean, for one, you could go two cheapy hookers and you would have so much money to spend. Or, you could go against the herd and instead of Randall, you could go Corey Pakes, because I gotta be honest, I don't really rate Chris Randall as a player. I don't think he's that good. I think he's fine. And he probably will score okay. Like he'll probably make a bunch of tackles, which is fine. So he'll score okay, but I do think Corey Pakes is a better player than Randall anyway, and he's also like 40k cheaper, so it would open the possibility. So one to keep an eye on. And then Damian Cook I've got at the moment. I'm definitely not sold on Cook. I don't know. I just don't know. It's a tough one. I don't think I'm going to be starting with Harry Grant. Honestly, I would probably rather start with Brandon Smith. It's such a shame. Honestly, Brandon Smith would be the first player in my team. Well, not the first player, but I would definitely have Brandon Smith in my team if he wasn't suspended for round one. Like, he's around 500k. He'll be starting lock. He'll play big minutes. And I think there's just so much upside to Smith playing in the middle with just his speed, with working with Harry Grant. So it's nice. It's very, very nice indeed. So yeah, very, very nice. The Cook, the Grant and the Smith combo. And I think I would like to have one of them. And for the value of Smith, I would love to have him, but I don't know. It's tough to have someone like Smith, who is probably not, I don't know, is he a keeper till the end? Maybe not. Munster or Grant potentially are, or probably are. Smith maybe not, so missing that first week, it's tough to sort of justify having him sit on the pine for 1 week, but I'm so tempted. I'm so tempted by him. And then, the Cook situation, I mean, he's good value, and if he can just get back to sort of what he was doing a couple of years ago, he can push for being the premier dummy half again. I still think Grant will be the top point scoring dummy half, but if Cook can get back to that form, like, he can be up there. Then we move into the front row department. So I've gone somewhat cheapish here. I started out with Payne Haas, but honestly, I'm starting to toy around with not having him, because it doesn't, like, it's not saving like 300k, but it is saving a good amount of coin for a player that potentially can average very, very close to him. Like, I don't think, Arrow playing big minutes on the edge, and then Utakomanu is a gun he's an absolute gun. Like he's sort of Payne Haas-esque, and I think, you know, if the Tigers are going to, well, it doesn't really matter if the Tigers go poorly or good. Utakomanu is going to play big minutes, and you know, he's got that try in him. He's got some offloading ability, the tackle breaking. So I don't think Utakomanu and Payne Haas are going to average that much different. You know, maybe a 10-point gap, but is that really do or die? Probably not. So having that money elsewhere is very, very handy. And then our reserves, Ethan Bullimore, and then Max King at the Dogs. Max King, we'll see. That front row option, there's definitely options. You know, Andrew Fafita, I think could jag a bench spot at 200k. Couple of other cheapies, you know, just depends who sort of gets a spot in some teams. And then Bullimore, like everyone's gonna hop on Bullimore. I mean, I've talked him up for a long time now. Like he's an absolute class player, Supercoach wise as well, but also just NRL standard. Like he's an absolute freak of a player. And obviously with the unfortunate injuries to Schuster. And now Olakawatu, who I was pretty keen on as well. I think, what did he do? Break his arm, I think? Like a pretty serious injury. So it leaves a couple of spots open, and surely Bullimore does he get a start? Maybe. I would say so. So, yeah, everyone's going to hop on Bullimore. 280k. Like, he scores very, very nicely. He's got upside. Yeah, he's sort of a must-have, honestly, in that front row department. He is dual as well, which is handy. I think you should pick him up in the front row forwards if you're going to go him, because there's a lot of good options in the second row, you know, value bracket. Not so much in the front row, so I think Bullimore, pick him up in the front row. Now we get to some of the big guns. We've gone pretty well. It's a mix. We've gone the big boys in Dave Fafita, Angus Crichton, and then the value pick of Eliasa Katoa. And at 350k, and this was what I was talking about. The first trial, Eliasa Katoa looked fit. He played some big minutes in that first half. Did he score a try? Doesn't really matter. Like he's a try scorer. He's a tackle buster. And if he gets big minutes on the edge, like he makes a lot of runs. Like he's got a pretty good base for an edge back rower with that upside. So I love Katoa. And short, like I'm just like if he doesn't get a start in the back row, I would be shocked, because he is a freak of a talent. And honestly, another club should try to snag him from the Warriors if they're not going to use him, dude. I know he must have, like, he had injuries on and off last year, I think. But he looked fit in that first game. But I was very keen to see the second trial against the Titans to see if he started in the back row again. And if he gets a start, like he's straight in my team. 350k. I mean, 2 years ago he was averaging like 60, low 60s. So yeah, Katoa, very nice. Crichton, Fafita, there's not much more to say. I mean, you could the Fafita stuff. Man, I wasn't, like, I was honestly dead set against going Fafita, but I was like I was talking about with Payne Haas and Utakomanu, the points different I don't think is going to be that high, but someone like a Fafita compared to, you know, you want to go someone cheaper like it's obviously a lot cheaper, but someone like a Jack Bird or Madison, or, you know, there's a lot of good cheaper second rowers, but the point difference could be huge. The points difference could be very, very big, and if you don't go him, you could find yourself behind. So at the moment I'm going him. I'm not sold. Definitely not sold. When it comes time to picking the final team, I can definitely see myself reverting back to a cheaper value second rower, because there's so many good ones. And not going for Fafita, but I don't know. At the moment I've got him there. I've got the cash for him, so yeah, it is what it is. On the reserves, it's a little light, but as you would have seen, I actually do have like 100k left in the bank, so not too bad. So I can upgrade. We have Ruben Cotter. Again, pending minutes. I've got the 100k, so honestly, if Cotter doesn't start at lock and Tamalolo does, I could just switch Cotter up to Tamalolo. If Tamalolo's playing a lock, I would find it very hard not to go him. But yeah, if Cotter plays starting lock, again, he's going to score very, very nicely. Tago, I've got him in the second row at the moment. Yeah, I've got him in the second row at the moment. I don't no real reason for that, but you'll see the back line in a moment. I've got some duels there, but obviously Tago he's going to be in pretty much everybody's team, in the second row or the center wing. And then Ben Trebojevic, he got injured in the latest trial as well, so we'll have to get rid of Ben Trebojevic for another cheaper second row option. And again, there's some value there, so if we got some more money to play with, there's some definite upgrade options. Then we move into the halves. So I've switched up here. I've gone away from Luke Keary because, well, a couple of reasons. Actually, the main reason is just he's in doubt for round one. He's in doubt for round one, and even if he plays round one, like just the fact he's already carrying an injury coming into the season, I just don't like that. So I've gone with Sam Walker. It seems like he is probably going to be goal kicking as well. It wasn't great, just like he started that second trial very nicely, made a little line break, and then he got knocked out by a strained knee, so that wasn't good to see, and I was a little bit concerned with that one. But it can happen. Concussions are going to happen throughout the season. So at the moment, I've got Walker. I don't mind it at all. And then Lachlan Ilius, again, you got to have him basically as the cheap halfback or 5'8". And then we have Jerome Luai as our 5'8" option. Again, this comes down to if Cleary plays. If Cleary plays, Luai is probably in my team. I think my first team had Dylan Brown, who I'm also keen on, and I gotta be honest. Like Sam Walker's not set in stone either. I'm honestly very tempted by Mitchell Moses. Like honestly, Mitchell Moses hasn't let me down that many times because I've gone Moses plenty of times throughout the last few years. Last year, I'm pretty sure I started with Moses again, and he was pretty underwhelming last year, but he's still, overall he averaged like low 50s. But yeah, I got him out of my team at some point last year. He was underwhelming. But I had him the year before where he had a very good Supercoach year, and I don't know. I got to be honest, I think the Eels, I don't know. They look good in the second trial. Again, it's a trial game, but I think there's attack. I mean, they have a very good team. I think Dylan Brown looked in pretty good form, so I'm keen with Brown and with Moses kicking goals. It's nice to have your halfback kicking goals, and I think he potentially could score well again out of those two. I don't know. I'm maybe leaning towards Dylan Brown just because he's got a better base. He makes a lot of tackles. He makes a lot of runs. Moses is sort of more. Yeah, he's gone away from running the footy in recent years, and he is. I do think he's a better player, but yeah, he's more controlling and. Yeah, I'd probably be leaning towards Dylan Brown. So Luai, even if Cleary plays, I'm still 50-50 on Luai. And then we got Tom Amone at our backup 5'8" spot. Again, there's a couple of options. There. But I've got Amone to start with. I don't know. Defensively, Defensively, he's not the best, but he's an attacking upside player, which is good for Supercoach, but I could see him getting dropped. I could see him getting dropped at some point. As we move into the back line, so we've gone a little bit heavy here. We've got Ewan Aiken, Kurt Mann, Jordan Pereira, and Will Penasini. So Penasini, very, very easy pick. Jordan Pereira, if he gets that wing spot for the Broncos, again, a very easy pick, because when he was at the Dragons a few years ago, he was pushing for being one of the best centre wing options in the game. He's just a tackle breaker. He makes a lot of tough runs. He's very, very good to have in Supercoach. So, and I like him as a player in general as well. So I hope he gets a spot. Kurt Mann, I've been on the Kurt Mann bandwagon from the get-go, and I think a lot of people are starting to jump on now after those couple of trials, because, he has got the starting lock spot. He's getting involved in a lot of their play. The Knights actually look pretty damn good. I've got to be honest. I don't know, Adam Clune, Jay Clifford, that they actually look pretty good together. And then Ewan Aiken, I've got in the centre wing. I'm honestly not that keen on Ewan Aiken, in all honesty, but having a second rower in the centre wing is just very nice. I'd probably be more keen on Jack Bird, but he is quite a bit more expensive, I think. Well, he's definitely in the 500Ks. I can't remember if it's low 500 or high 500s, but yeah, out of the two, I would rather Jack Bird, and I can afford him, but yeah, I don't know. Ewan Aiken also he's not a bad pickup, but I don't see him scoring that well, honestly. And then the backups, we've got Joseph Sawali. Sawali looks like he's not going to be fit for round 1, maybe round 2, but I think Sawali is definitely going to come into that team when he is fit. Taylor May and Key, they're sort of just placeholders as it is now, depending team lists and whatnot. I am, Xavier Coates at 300k, I think is looking pretty good. In the Storm, they got a lot of points in that team, so I don't mind the Coates pickup potentially. He is a little awkwardly placed, but I think he's going to have a pretty good scoring year. And then the fullbacks. So the fullbacks an interesting one, because Pappenhausen, I don't know. It seems like he obviously did not a real serious ankle injury, I don't think, but somewhat serious earlier, and he's still pushing to be fit for round 1. But I also saw that he's playing golf just recently, so I don't know. If Pappenhausen isn't fit, then and also Tedesco. I think Tedesco is pretty much right for round 1, right? Or I feel like there was talk that Tedesco is also a little bit pushing it, but I think Tedesco is pretty much locked in for round 1. Pappenhausen is not locked in. So if Pappenhausen doesn't start, then I'm probably going to have to try and get Tom Trbojevic into the team, I think. Otherwise, we'll look at the fullbacks again, because I actually didn't do a fullback analysis video, because honestly it was pretty easy. It was sort of, in my mind, it was just Tedesco and Pappenhausen are the best options. But if you wanted to go Tom Trbojevic, he's also very good, but just too expensive for me at the moment. But other than those, I really like Mitchell, but he's gone. Well, Mitchell's actually now back at round 2, which isn't terrible, but I still couldn't. I don't know. I couldn't go Mitchell missing the first round, spending that much at fullback. I don't know. I still think there's good options that you're wasting too many points in the first round. Hines might not be bad at fullback. He's looked pretty good in the trials and the All-Stars game. He gets if he, I think jury's still out if he's going to be like an absolute star in the halves, but he is very Supercoach friendly. Like he makes a good amount of tackles. He gets a lot of points that you don't really see. Like he takes a lot of runs. He gets a few offloads and tackle breaks, just the way he sort of carries the footy. And he's also goal kicking. I think the Sharks have a pretty good attacking unit. So honestly, Hines, I'm sort of a little bit keen on. Clint Gutherson, no. I just, he can probably score pretty well, but I just don't really like him. Kalen Ponga, I was keen on before the trials, but he hasn't scored very well, which, again, the trials mean not much at all in terms of point scoring. The trials are a good indication of sort of team layouts, but people that are reading too much into the trials are doing my head in. Like, they'll see... Like one of the guns will score like not that many and they're off him, and it's like, it's a trial game. Like, obviously they do mean something, like they still want to win, but they're not it's just not the same. So you can't read that much into it. But yeah, Ponga without goal kicking as well, I'm not keen on. And then going down the list, like the rest of them I'm just not that keen on. I like Tyrell Sloan in the centres, but not at fullback. The one guy, where is he? Savage. I mean, Savage at 286. It seems like he's not going to get that fullback spot. It seems like Ricky Stewart has said that Charnsey's going to get it, which is probably fair enough. But Savage, I mean, he's a freak of a talent. So if he was starting, like that would have been nice. But yeah, other than that, like I don't know. If Pappenhausen doesn't play round one, honestly, that could be the opening to go Cook to Corey Pakes or Cook to Ruben Cotter, which it wouldn't give me enough money still. It still wouldn't give me enough money. I would have to still skim somewhere else. I probably would have to go not Aiken. But if Pappenhausen doesn't start, I'm probably gonna have to try and get Tommy in the team. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it pans out. But other than that, that's the updated team. I think it's looking pretty. It's starting to take shape. I think a lot of quite a bit of it. It's still up in the air, but I like where it's going. But yeah, still quite a bit up for debate. So hopefully you guys are enjoying the Supercoach action. Make sure to like and comment, and I'll see you guys in the next one.